Hi, everyone. My name is Jesse Devitt. I'm a senior at the University of Dayton, and this is a text analysis of popular music from the past decade. So I found my data from genius.com. I harvested millions of song data, which I subset to only include songs made after 2010. From there, I subset my data again into four genres: rap, rock, pop, and country. My research questions were: what language is most prevalent within specific genres and what associations exist between them? How do popular song lyrics differ from others within their respective genres? And what role, if any, do the emotions of lyrics have on a song's popularity? My variables were song genre, song artist, number of site views on genius.com, which was the variable I used for popularity, and emotion scores. Okay. For my data, this is just data tables showing the 100 most popular songs and their lyrics for the four genres. This is EDA. It shows the top 10 most viewed artists since 2010 for each genre. See that Taylor Swift is the most viewed for country and pop. Rap is the most, Drake is the most viewed for rap. And Imagine Dragons is the most viewed for rock. And we will use these top artists later in the sentiment analysis portion. Okay, so from here, I subset my data one more time. I randomly selected 10,000 songs from each genre. And I used that. That was one subset. And then with the other, I just took the top 10,000 songs according to site viewership. Okay, so these word clouds show the top 100 frequently occurring words in each subset. And with the word clouds, the larger the word, the more frequently they occur within the subset. And these bigrams show the most prevalent word associations, meaning words that occur sequentially within a song or back to back. Okay, I'm not going to get too into these I'm not going to get too much into breaking down each genre. Okay. But the main thing is that these top song word clouds tend to be larger than the random subsets. So meaning that the words that occur in the top song, these frequently occurring words occur more frequently in the top songs than they do in the random subset songs. For the bigrams, we see that the top song bigrams are more dense than the random songs, meaning that these word associations occur more frequently than they do in the random songs. For the sentiment analysis, I looked at individual artists. And so I aimed at grouping artist songs by similarities in emotional attributes. So the best way to do that I found would be cluster analysis. For country, I looked at Taylor Swift, and so we see that joy is her top sentiment for country songs. This dissimilarity matrix just shows similarities and differences between song emotional levels, teal being similar and red being different. So we can see in figure 3, we have a valid cluster. In figure 4, we have a parallel coordinate plot, which shows the varying emotional levels of each of her songs, which are either categorized as cluster 1 or cluster 2. So we can see that cluster 1 is overall higher levels of emotion than cluster 2. And so my hope was to hopefully translate that to views, saying that one of these clusters would have higher viewership. And so if we look to figure 6, we see that cluster 1 does have higher viewership than cluster 2, but it's not that significant. Okay, it's not that significant. Okay, so that this isn't really a major conclusion. With pop, which is also Taylor Swift, she was the top artist, it's basically the same conclusion, right? We see, if you look at the parallel coordinate plot, we do see that one of the clusters has higher emotion, but it doesn't translate to viewership. Now with rap, it does translate. Okay, so we see our two clusters in figure 3. If we look down to figure 4, we have a really nice layering going on between clusters. With cluster 1 having obviously more sentiment than cluster 2. And this does translate more so in the box plot for figure 6. We see that cluster 1 does have a relatively higher median than cluster 2 in terms of views. So we can say there's some evidence of some of Drake songs with more sentiment having higher views than Drake songs with less sentiment. Rock, which was Imagine Dragons, we can't really make any conclusions. This was a small sample size. If you look at figure 4, the parallel coordinate plot, the lines are kind of scattered. There's no real layering. Some emotions are higher, but other emotions are not as high. So we can't really make any conclusions. And if you look at the box plot, the medians are very similar. So we really just can't make any conclusions for Rock. The next thing we did was we took the median sentiment scores of those clusters, we threw them into ChatGPT, and then we took the top 50 most frequently occurring words in each of those genres, and we threw those into ChatGPT with their corresponding sentiment values, and we created 2 songs for each genre, and we added the voice of those top artists. So I'm not going to play those, but they are on this website, so you can feel free to check them out. And now just discussion. I do think that this procedure could be replicated to, or at least parts of it could be replicated to the music label industry in terms of just mitigating the repetitive and data intensive tasks of song production. And then in terms of the music streaming industry, I feel like it could be added to the algorithms such as the Discover Weekly playlist, which is on Spotify. If like the sentiment trends could be added to that, I think that could better the user experience. And then for limitations, I'd say the main limitation would be just the fact that I use Genius.com for these lyrics. The user base of Genius.com historically is mainly hip hop based. And so because of that, I might not, it probably wasn't the best representation of the population. If I used a source like Spotify, that probably would have been better. And just before I say goodbye, I just want to give a quick shout out to my project advisor, Dr. Chen. Dr. Tessa Chen. She was amazing. She was supportive the entire way through, and I just want to give her a special thank you. So thank you, Dr. Chen. And yeah, that is my presentation, and thank you for watching.